Yogiraj Gambhir Nath is a legend from the 19th century. He was the most powerful yogi during his lifetime. According to Sant Vijaykrishna Goswami, Gambhir Nath Ji could create and destroy this universe in the blink of an eye. Numerous miracles are known to be performed by him, including giving life to a dead devotee. He was the embodiment of kindness and devotion to God. He didn't wear silken clothes because numerous silkworms are boiled to death during its manufacture. And he lived the life of a pauper even though he was the president of the gigantic Natha tradition. He was devoid of arrogance and pride. What very few people know is that, in his youth, Gambhir Nath had been an aghori. When Yogiraj Visuddhananda was a little boy, he was taken to Gyangunj for initiation. After initiation from Maharishi Mahatapa, he was taken to the place where Yogi Gambhir Nath had set his asana, seat, for blessing. Gambhir Nath spoke very little. He awoke from Samadhi, opened his merciful eyes, looked once at the boy and said, "Okay, good," and instantly entered Samadhi again, taken from the record of Swami Visuddhananda. Visuddhananda Paramhamsa became a legend in the field of Surya science. He could transmute elements and create anything, even a living being, by the power of his yoga and solar science. He was not an aghori but a tantric yogi of the first order. He was very kind and wise and could openly perform unthinkable miracles. Once he opened his navel and displayed the Manipur lotus to his devotees and students. His accounts can be found in Visuddhananda Prasanga and Yogiraj. He became a Paramhamsa yogi, as great as the legendary rishis of yore. He was a rare adept in many fields simultaneously. His prowess is unequaled in yoga, tantra, solar science and mantra science. He walked with equal ease in both hatha and raja yoga. He was the spiritual brother, Guru Bhai of Kutupananda or Rishi Kothumi, Kuti Humi, the guru of Madame Blavatsky and Colonel Henry Olcott. Rishi Kutupananda has mentioned students of foreign origin in a letter to Yogi Vishuddhananda. When Sant Vijaykrishna Goswami was searching for a true guru, yoga master, he met Yogi Gambhir Nath in a mountain cave. A young chela, student, aghori sadhu, who looked very fierce in appearance, was guarding the cave. Taken from the diary of Kulidananda Brahmachari 1900 ad, his job was to ward off inquisitive worldly people who disturbed the adept's austerities. The chela threw pebbles at Vijaykrishna and his friend, but never actually hitting them, and shouted ferociously. The friend ran away to save himself, but Vijaykrishna advanced. Finding the latter to be fearless and stubborn, the chela was very pleased. He offered Vijaya some prasadam, holy food offered to God, which to Vijaya's utter shock was a half-burnt human palm. Vijaya declined and was taken inside the cave. Inside he saw a one-of-a-kind sight. On four sides sat four adepts in their respective asana. They had their own dhunas, holy fire, and were incessantly engaged in sadhana. All of them were from a different religious tradition and have become one in adepthood. They have lost all personal weakness and pride and were just children of one single God. One of these adepts were Yogiraj Gambhir Nath, another was a Ramit Vaishnava Sant, another a Nanakshahi Sikh Mahatma, and the fourth was a Sufi Muslim sage. It's so strange to see that the Mahatmas have reconciled their difference of paths and were worshipping God together. Gambhir Nath Ji told young Vijaya that he was not his guru, for such is the will of God. But he taught Vijaya Ajapa Pranayama. Vijaykrishna Goswami was taught the same pranayama years later by his guru, and he understood the importance of it 20 years after meeting Gambhir Nath. Vijaykrishna Goswami became a famous adept of the Vaishnava tradition. He was like a rishi. He spent almost 16 hours in Samadhi. It is said that after he was poisoned to death, he re-entered his own corpse and maintained his life for a few more weeks to end his earthly karma. He was not an aghori, by the way. Aghori is a branch of the Nath Yoga cult. Yogiraj Guru Gorakhnath arranged the yogis into 12 orders. They are Kanfat, Ogre, Mishendra, Bhatrihari, Sarangi, Durihar Kanipa, Kanivnat, Rampanti, Siddhi Karani, Aghori, Yogini and Sanyogi. There is a 13th Muslim branch called Yogi. Main pilgrimages of the Nath tradition are Gorakhpur, Kajli, Peshawar, Pakistan, Dwarka, Haridwar, Pasupatinath, Nepal, Damdama, Kolkata, Mahanath Jatshwar Temple, Hooghly, Kapildhara, Gaya, Nath Tilla, Mount Gujarat. There is a misconception that the legendary sage Trailinga Swami of Varanasi was an Aghori. Trailinga Swami was not an Aghori. His real name was Hitlal Mishra. He was the disciple of Swami Bhagirath Saraswati. His Minkhud name was Swami Ganapati Saraswati. Had he been an Aghori, he would have been in the Nath order. He was a fully realized Shaiva yogi, a devotee of Shiva. He was well versed in the scriptures and was an adept hatha yogi, rajayogi and rasayanic alchemist. He could transmute matter from one form to another. He once lifted a 1-ton Shiva lingam from the Ganges and put life force inside it in his single-room ashram in Kashi. He was a very huge man and was often seen floating in Padmasana, completely nude in the Ganges. When he was doing austerities in the bank of river Narmada and wanted to drink its water, the whole river turned to milk. Kaki Baba, another yogi, witnessed this miracle. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Yogiraj Shyamacharan Lahiri, Bama Khepa, Yogiraj Loknath Brahmachari and Vijay Krishna Goswami met him in his 250 years lifetime. All these facts can be proved from the records of the aforesaid holy men. Being a devotee of Shiva is different from being an Aghori. There are innumerable subclasses among Shiva worshippers. They are broadly divided into the right path, Dakshina Achara, and the left path, Vama Achara. Along the right path, walk the Rudradhyaya Vedic, Shvetashvetara Upanishad rishis, Patanjal, Raja Yogi, Hatha Yogi and common devotees. The left path is reserved by the terrible Aghori, Kapalik, Tantric sadhus. The attitude, sense of sanctity, austerities, mantras and behaviors are radically different between the right and the left.